Hey guys, it's Candace, and guess what today is? It's Friday. It's Friday. I'm so happy it's Friday. I'm so happy it's Friday. It's like almost 2. I'm going to get a client some clothes, and then I'm bouncing. I cannot wait. And it's a beautiful day in my neighborhood anyway. It's really pretty out today. So it's just a good day. And I got an SD card, so that means I can really talk to y'all. So since I'm driving from Puyallup to the other side of town, I figured I have some time. So why not fill y'all in on what's been going on for the last 8 months? So I think when I started with you guys before, I hope this isn't shaking y'all, because it's supposed to be. Okay, so I think when I ended last time, or the last time I was doing a round and I tried and failed really terribly, I was just moving. And I was moving into a house from an apartment. So, of course, I've lived in a house before. I grew up in a house, and then I lived with my aunt in a house, and then I bought my condo. That was like an apartment, and then now we're transitioning to a house. So it was like, I was tired of people walking up and down the stairs in an apartment, that kind of feel. Oh, no, because I moved into my condo, then I moved into an apartment, and now I've moved into a house. So the stairs, the neighbors, all of that was just, I was over it. Plus, having to go downstairs to take Khloe out at nighttime when there's no lights anywhere, overit.com. So I get this house, I see it listed, I think it was listed on like Craigslist or something, and it was through a property manager, so I felt a little bit more like secure, because property managers are kind of held to they hold the owners to a, level of expectation, I guess, or whatever. Well, so I thought. So anyway, I go into this, I don't buy it, I'm renting this house. It's like 1,100 square feet, has huge bedrooms. It only has 1 bathroom, but it's just me, so that's fine. Has a really nice living room. The selling point to me was the fireplace, because I'm like, yes, I can get some wood. I'll be sitting in my living room with the crackling fire. That'll be my main source of heat, and I'll just kind of subsidize with the actual heaters in like the other rooms and stuff. But the fireplace was going to be like my main source of heat, so I thought I was going to save all this money. So right upon moving in, little things I didn't think of was looking at the windows to see if the windows had screens on them. This is an older house. It's very cute. It has like the archways. It has the wood floors. It has a lot of character to it. But no, it has old school windows. Like there's only probably 5 windows. No, 4 windows, I think, that have been updated and have the screens and the latches that are secure. So these other ones they're just old school. They're like the 2 panels that when it gets moisture in the middle, they look dirty. That's what I'm dealing with. Ugh. So, okay, minor thing. I just keep my blinds closed. It's not that big of a deal. Yet, the house is old, and when I got it, it had been sitting like shut up all summer. So when I got it, there was like this kind of a musty smell to it. Not dirty or stank, but just like it had been closed up. So I'm still, mind you, I'm still trying to get this smell out of this house, because for one, I leave the windows open limited because it's a rambler, so I can't leave them open when I'm gone. During the wintertime I had them open, but without the screen and all these bugs flying in and out, I don't do bugs. I don't do it. So it's not getting like the good air that it needs. Plus, the downstairs it's a duplex, so the downstairs is another person's living quarters, and the window in my bedroom is kind of facing their patio. So if I have my window open without a screen, like they can just basically be in my room with me. I mean, why didn't I figure this out before I moved in there? I mean, it's just little things like that are just, it's annoying. So, back to the fireplace. I'm there for probably a month and a half, maybe 2 months. I finally got some wood. I got this quarter wood really cheap, like $100. The guy dropped it off. I spent all afternoon by myself stacking this freaking wood. And I mean, I was sore for days after that because it was so much hard work. And I didn't have a wheelbarrow. And where he dumped it was on the other side of where I needed to store it, where the cover was. So I'm like carrying, oh my God, it was a mess. But anyway, I'm like, okay, but I'm gonna have me a crackling fire. So I'm learning how to like make fires. I get the little fire starters. Have probably 2 weeks where I'm just, me and my fire are best friends. Khloe loves it. She has her little blanket. She sits kind of not right in front of it because I didn't want it to cook her, but enough to where she's feeling the heat, and we're just loving our fireplace. Till one day I go in there to start a fire, open up the oven thing, open the door, and bricks came out of the fireplace. They just fell down. So I'm like, what? And it wasn't like I could push them back in there. They literally fell down. So I emailed the property management, and I said, or no, she emails, what did I do? I emailed the property management, and I said, there are bricks inside of the fireplace. Can you please have the maintenance guy to come fix it? Because I'm not knowing who needs to fix it, but basically I need my fireplace fixed. So she doesn't respond to me, doesn't respond. I respond back, I email back, and I'm like, listen, this is my main heat source. I need you to respond with a time that the fireplace can be fixed. So then she responds and says, well, based on the recent chimney report that we had conducted, I'm going to need you not to use your fireplace as it is been like viewed unsuitable or been decided that it's not suitable for me to use. Okay, so I'm like, what do you mean based on the recent roof inspection? Like, did you not do one before I moved in? Because now it's 2 months in and you're telling me that they're telling you that the roof is not only is the roof bad, but the chimney has literally caved in. So I said, oh, okay. When are they going to do the roof? She's like, well, we can't. We put in the contractor's bids to the owners, and then once they make a decision, we'll let you know. And I said, well, does that mean they're going to take care of the chimney too? And she had the nerve to be like, ma'am, repairing a roof is very expensive. It'll be up to the owners if they want to repair the chimney. And I said, first of all, you rented this house saying as the feature was this chimney and the fireplace. A wood burning fireplace is what you offered in the ad. So you need to hold up to that. Fought back and forth. I'm telling you, like a month. My brother wrote a really like lawyery letter. My best friend who's a lawyer, she wrote another letter and was like, y'all need to get your stuff together. And then my brother kind of got to the point and was like, we can really push this, but if we push it, that means you're going to most likely have to move like right away. The roof gets repaired. I don't want to move because that last move took every inch of me, every inch of my soul. It was so much work. It took, by that 2 months time when the fireplace caved in, that I was just now finally getting all the way settled in and everything was unpacked and done. Like, I couldn't even think about having to move again. So I asked her if they would take some rent off take like $50 of rent off, since I'm going to have to now compensate that with the heating. And she was like, no, we don't pay for your utilities. And I said, no, but in this case you should, because this is what you offered. Needless to say, I lost. They did not do what I wanted them to do. So I'm super pissed about it. And I knew then I'm not going to be here more than my lease. So they got the roof finished. My lease is up, I believe, October 1. And I've been trying to, like, that put such a bad taste in my mouth. Like, I want to have some get back because it just bothers me. So my friend's like, once you move out, we'll sue them, because they advertise it. And I still have the little ad that was part of the feature of this place. And that was really what sold me on it, because it was like, okay, this is a nice size, the yard is here, and then there's a fireplace. Those are like the three things that I really wanted. And then for me not to get them, oh boy, was I hot. And I still am hot. Just talking about it riles me up. So now I have all this wood that I stacked, and like probably 15 pieces got used. Like, there's so much wood there. So I'm gonna probably just give it to my auntie or my cousin and have them come move it before I move, because I'm not leaving it for them. That's for damn sure. They're not getting my wood. They're not getting my wood. I'd rather put it on the street than let them give it to the next person, because they'll probably try to charge the next person for it. Oh, rat bastards. Anyway, so that's what's up with this house. And it still has this odor to me. When people come over, they say they don't smell anything, but for one, you notice when it's not your smell. So I already had that. But then it's not my smell. Plus, I still smell it. And depending on the day, if it's really hot or if it rains a whole lot, it magnifies it. Yesterday was a pretty mellow day, so it was kind of like, okay, wasn't too bad. But I don't know. So anyway, I'm actually going to go home and clean a little bit, because the gal that I'm going to possibly be living with is going to come over tomorrow and just check it out and see if it'll be good for her and her daughter. She's still planning to move to Utah, so it's going to be a short-term thing, but either way, you want it to be presentable and everything. And plus, we'll have to come up with our little house rules. And I mean, look at me making house rules. Oh my God. And I told her about her daughter's new name. I said, we're going to just call your daughter Munchkin, because I can't be confusing my Khloe. She already knows that's her house and her domain. So if you're yelling your daughter's name and I'm yelling your daughter's name, Khloe's going to be a mess. And she ain't that bright as it is, so we're going to try to minimize the confusion. So that's kind of the sum of what's going on with the house. Oh, and then speaking of Khloe, so right around the same time as the whole roof fiasco and the chimney, Khloe slipped a disc. We were getting up one morning and she was just whining, like nonstop whining. And she was just sitting like a lady, like she sits with her little legs crossed sometimes. And she was just sitting there whining and she just wouldn't move. And so I went to go pick her up and she screamed bloody murder. So I put her on the bed and I was kind of like feeling around, like thinking that maybe one of her little knees had popped out or something. Because when she would walk, she'd limp very badly. And I thought, okay, well, maybe it's just been the excitement of the move. Maybe she jumped off something wrong and she like messed up her back a little bit. Long story short, it went on about a week that she was limping, and I was trying to like massage her and do all that stuff. And then one day I get up and she literally is dragging her hind legs. So I'm freaking out, like almost in tears, because I don't know what's going on with her. And it's like 12:30 on a Friday. It might even been, on a Saturday. It might have been later in the day, because I remember like having to rush to the animal hospital. We get there and there's all these animals and they're like, okay, well, you can pay an additional $40 to consider this an emergency, and we'll move her to the top of the line, because not everybody's going to get seen because the time was running out. So I'm like, okay, let's do it. So we go in, they examine her and everything, and they're telling me that this dog has slipped her disc. Well, then on top of that, I'm like, so what do we need to do? And they're like, well, it'll be like $300 for x-rays, but we're most likely, or $300 for the x-rays. And I said, well, what happens if that's the case? And so in all the cases, they treated the injury the same. It would be prednisone with painkiller and like a muscle relaxer for a course of weeks, depending on the issue. So I'm like, well, if you're going to treat it all the same, why do I need to get the x-rays? Because even if it's this, or this, you're doing the same thing for it. So it's not like, you're going to change treatments if it's something different. So I opted not to do the x-rays, and I was like, let's try this first. So we get her medication. Mind you, her medication is all the same stuff that they give me when my back goes out, which was kind of funny. So they give us the medication, and they tell us basically she needs to be kennel bound, like nothing, unless she's going to the bathroom, she has to be on the kennel. And she couldn't even really go to the bathroom. I had to like put a pee pad down and just scoot her to it and like literally like push it under her, because she was just that hurt. So we did that for probably a good 6 weeks until she could start limping again with all fours. She could barely take herself to the bathroom, you guys. Like, it was so sad. Like, her little back legs were shaking, and she'd try to hold herself up, then she'd collapse and try to, oh, it was so sad, so sad. Oh, just thinking of it makes me want to cry. Anyway, so 6 weeks, we get her to where she's kind of been able to take herself to the bathroom. And then still for probably 3 additional months after that, she's really pretty much kennel bound. Like, she's on kennel rest. She does not get to go out and play. And she really didn't want to. Like, she just wasn't herself. And they had told me, like, just expect that Khloe will probably not be the same anymore. When now, like, Khloe, anybody that knows Khloe, she's so happy and lovable and just wants to jump and play all the time. So we just kind of started to adjust our lives to the fact that Khloe will probably not be the same. And that, you know, she's older now. She's like 7, which is really middle age for her. And we just kind of were going accordingly. So then it wasn't until about a month ago, before Khloe got hurt in the morning time, when she wanted to go to the bathroom, she'd wake up and she'd like just make a whole lot of ruckus on my bed, just a lot of ruckus. And I'd always be like, Khloe, stop. And she'd stop for like 5 seconds and then start again. And then I would get up and take her to the bathroom. Well, so like 3 months ago, mind you, this is like a total of 6 months, her just being very low key, can't really move much, doesn't want to play, all this stuff. Well, I noticed that she was walking better, but one morning, I was sleeping really good. Like I was dreaming, and it was a really good sleep. And all of a sudden, I hear all this banging on my bed. And in the dream, I don't know, because I was still dreaming, and I was like kind of waking up to this banging, and I knew it was her, so I just said, Khloe, stop! Like that, like I always do. And I just popped my eyes open, and I was like, oh my God, because she had not been able to get on her hind legs. She hadn't been able to do anything like that. So she jumps up, and she's like, it was just like one morning she's back to normal. And ever since, she has been back to normal, just raising hell. And I love every minute of it. Like the other day, I wanted to yell at her for acting so crazy because she just bounces off the walls. And I couldn't even yell at her because it was like, I'm so glad you're bouncing off the walls, because I thought I lost my little Khloe. So I still try to keep her to a minimum, because if she does, you know, slip a disc again, then we're back to that. And they wanted me to do a surgery that was going to be like $2,500 for this slip disc. And they said, well, it could fix it, but she could also re-slip that one or another disc. And I said, what do you think I'm made of? No, we're gonna figure this out. So I just YouTubed a bunch of stuff. I had her swimming in the tub, like we were doing water therapy. They even have dog acupuncture and chiropractor. And there was one chiropractor, because I was gonna change chiropractors for myself. And this one particular chiropractor would do, if you went there for a service for yourself, she would do it free on your dog, because it's not like, I guess, a licensable kind of thing. I don't know. We never even got that far. But thank God, the praise report is that Khloe is back being a little terror, and I love every second of it. So between the house and the dog, it was kind of it's been up and down. But I mean, we're in a good spot. We're happy for now. I'm planning on moving. Like, they better not even ask me to stay. And I'm a great tenant, because I pay my rent before it's due. I keep up after everything. Like, they don't even know how bad that they messed this up, because I could have stayed there for a long time, which when I went there, I thought I would be there a long time. But anyway, so that's been what's going on for the last 6 months, and I only have probably 4 months left to be in there, and then I'm out. Can't wait. So now this gal is gonna come move in, and I'm kind of thinking, like, before I was like, I really want to get my credit back to where I want it to be, so that I can try to buy again. And so I was thinking that after this lease is up, I would just move in with my grandma, because she has like a downstairs that I could just have to myself, and live there for like, you know, a few months, and just save some money, stack some money, pay some things off, and then start kind of doing the house hunting thing. Because she wouldn't charge me, if anything, but it'd be a very, very small amount. So that was kind of where I was excited about thinking. But then now, I mean, with her, this gal, if this works out, then maybe we could find someplace together. I don't know. I don't want to get ahead of myself, because I don't know. This whole living together thing still makes me nervous. Gives me a heartburn a little bit. But that's that. So those are like the two big things that were going on. And now we're trying to just move forward. So I wanted to let you guys know what that's all about. So anyway, I'm going to probably hit you back up later to kind of let you know how the rest of today goes with the end of the week and my diet and losing the weight and not, and staying and stalling, and going into this weekend with the mind of staying focused and POP. So I will be back soon. Have a happy Friday.